Bitcoin's falling and it's okay. We have Bitcoin under 106,000. I know some people are worried, but there's something very obvious going on right now. We have Jerome Powell looking, I don't want to say a little worse for the wear, but I kind of feel like that's true. That might sound mean, but yeah, he's counting down the days until he's done. Let's go through this. If you don't mind, hit subscribe so you can see future videos just like this. Also, if you want to trade crypto, there are links underneath the video. People have been loving BitUnix. There's some special bonuses there. And also, just recently, actually today, I worked out a deal with Weeks to give you guys some free money. So check this out underneath the video. They're a great place to trade. And also, there's a link to the Telegram group. I actually just put an early access video that's really interesting with Michael Saylor, him laughing at a Bloomberg analyst to his face on TV. So go check that out. It's like the third link down. It's not a scam in the description or in the pinned comment. Of course, there are scammers down further in the comments, but this is completely free. I just send videos early in there and some early access, some exclusive videos. So check that out. Okay, the market's down a little bit. We have Bitcoin falling down. We got rejected for the third time by this trend line. People are wondering what the heck's happening. Everything's bullish. Everyone's buying. Why are we falling down? Well, it's pretty obvious. We'll talk about that in a second, but we do have the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 falling a decent amount. The NASDAQ's down about 1%. Maybe just, it's the end of the quarter. It's the second half of the year. We do have a holiday this week. Jerome Powell spoke today, so maybe a bit of fear on that. But yeah, it could just be people banking some profit. It's been a very good quarter, so people could be banking a little bit of profit. Obviously, I think there are some manipulators in crypto right now, which isn't a bad thing, to be clear. It's what's going to happen. Look at this. This is Powell today. No tie. I don't know. Looks a little bit tired. He said that he's got 10 months left as the head of the Fed. Sounds like he's kind of counting down the days. Apparently, Trump is already talking about their people to replace Powell. He said lower the rates. He apparently called him yesterday or 2 days ago to ask him to lower the rates by 1%. This is coming out of the White House that Trump had called him to ask him to lower the rates. He also said crypto stablecoins are a positive step. So yeah, he's just talking generally. He kind of ducked the question about rate cuts, but almost everyone else is cutting rates, and he still hasn't. He's been very cautious because of the tariffs, but some tariff deals are getting done, and July 9th is kind of the cutoff time. So we should see some deals probably in the next week or so. Maybe a little bit of fear about that as well, hence why the NASDAQ could be down a little bit. Gold's up a little bit, but yeah, not a big deal in my opinion. I think there is definitely some manipulation going on by the exchanges. We've seen this from Binance. They're dumping crypto and buying it back and causing liquidations. The OTC desks are also running dry. So Bitcoin OTC desks supply a lot of the Bitcoin for BlackRock, for MicroStrategy. They do small buys throughout the day or use the OTC desk so they don't move the price very drastically. Now, some people hate this because they don't understand it very well. This also works the other direction, where if someone wants to sell, they can go to an OTC desk, and instead of dropping the price of Bitcoin 10 or 20%, they can just sell it here. So it just matches buyers and sellers. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It just smooths out the market a bit. So how does that affect us long term? Well, the OTC desks are running dry. You can see 2022, there's a lot of Bitcoin on the OTC desks, right? OTC from miners. OTC has gone down significantly. 10-year low of 156,000 Bitcoin. So once this runs out, BlackRock's buying 1,000 Bitcoin a day, Fidelity's buying Bitcoin, MicroStrategy's buying Bitcoin. There are 150 plus treasury companies, there are countries that are buying. We see news like this all the time. Trump's American Bitcoin Corp, which is a Bitcoin miner, raised $215 million to buy more Bitcoin. This continues to happen. Well, do they stop buying Bitcoin when they reach zero Bitcoin on the OTC desk? No, like the OTC desks reach out to people to try to get them to sell them more Bitcoin so they can supply these companies. If they can't do that, well, then they push up the price. Or if they can't get the Bitcoin fast enough at the OTC, okay, well, then we're going to just make small clips. We're going to keep on buying Bitcoin. So then every sell is naturally bought up. We see bottom prices on Bitcoin where it just keeps on bouncing and bouncing, and people keep on buying, and it forces up the price, right? Like, it's just a matter of time. I'm not worried when we fall down a couple $1,000s. A lot of this is just due to manipulation or whales or some liquidations or just some natural sellers, whatever it is. The market's down 1%, Bitcoin falls down 1%. I'm not worried about this in the slightest. I am getting ready for the next leg up. Right? I have accumulated a lot of Bitcoin throughout the bear market. I have trades ready now. If you don't have trades ready and you understand what trading is, I think it would be wise to set up some trades, some low leverage trades. If we start to see a breakout, a retest of this and flipping this resistance into support, probably even considering going a little bit higher leverage. Of course, do your own due diligence. It's a small portion of my portfolio. I'm happy with the risk, so do your own due diligence on that. But this is exciting. This is a big opportunity, and people just don't get it. People are bearish right now. And I actually have a video coming out in a little while talking about how much Bitcoin's being bought up by all these entities. I have that video about Michael Saylor laughing at someone's face when they make a stupid comment about Bitcoin right now. So just stay the course, right? Like, everything is looking bullish. If you had told anyone that this is where we'd be, with the president having 3 different Bitcoin related companies, like directly Bitcoin related, acquiring Bitcoin consistently, ETFs, no one would have believed you a couple of years ago. If you had told people a few years ago that the biggest companies in the world, the biggest finance companies are going to be buying Bitcoin, the biggest asset managers would be buying Bitcoin, hundreds of millions of dollars a day on average, they would have called you crazy. We're in a great spot. Just don't get caught up in the noise. I'm very happy with where we're at. Of course, there is some news on altcoins. I actually just covered that in my video earlier today. Tom Lee actually made a pretty big announcement on a new crypto bet, $250 million crypto bet that he has. And we went over some news with Solana too. That's actually extremely bullish for Solana and for the altcoin market in general. I'm very heavy Bitcoin. I think it takes less work, but I do have small amounts in some altcoins. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. I hope you have a great rest of your day. If I don't see you, maybe there's some news later today, but it seems like a relatively quiet day so far. Keep in mind that it is a holiday in the US, so some people are out on vacation. If you want, you can check out my last video where I talk about Tom Lee and some of the news that he has. Again, big bonuses to Weeks, BTCC, Bydfi, BTCC, so check those out underneath the video. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.